Well, we really just have a few hours to go, as it were, before GST rolls out. It's being called one of the most ambitious tax reforms in the history of independent India. And it's a great pleasure to have with us the man who's really been spearheading it, driving it. If it's a really complicated, complex task, then he and his team have been really working to put it all together. So it's with great pleasure that I'd like to welcome the Revenue Secretary, Mr. Hasmukh Adhia, who's, I have to say, sir, looking remarkably calm considering just how much behind-the-scenes activity there must be right now. And for starters, our compliments and congratulations for all the work that has been done by you to roll this out.
Thank you very much, Vikram. But if you think that I'm calm, it is mainly because of my team, because my team is outstanding in terms of the work output they give it to me, in terms of their intelligence, in terms of their cooperative attitude. So I'm really lucky to have such a team.
But as the person who's spearheading it, are you nervous at all right now?
Not at all. Not at all, because we have done enough for it. And we are quite confident that whatever amount of hard work we have put in will definitely bear fruits.
So I just wanted to understand, given where you are right now, how ready are we? Because it's just like, what, 30 hours, 35 hours to go before GST rolls out. How ready are we? What still needs to be done? What are the last minute behind-the-scenes activities that are taking place?
We have made a checklist of what all we need to do before 30th of June, and we have been rigorously following it up, and that checklist is almost coming to an end now. Whatever activities we were supposed to do by 30th, we have already done it.
Okay, so just to understand, you had to notify some things which you've done yesterday. Many of the states still have to make notifications, and all of that has to be done in the next couple of days. Some of the states have expressed reservations saying, are we completely ready or not? West Bengal in particular, Kerala. Are they on board? Are they going to be able to also meet the deadline?
No. As far as the governments are concerned, even of those states, they are fully ready, and all the states, they would be issuing their notification today or tomorrow. And tomorrow we have the meeting of council in the evening, so we have requested them to bring copies of all the notifications so that we can make sure that nothing is missed. What they must be talking about is probably the preparedness on the part of some of the traders. That's it.
If you can understand what it takes to get this thing done, there's all the notifications, all the laws have to come. Of course, constitutional amendment has already happened. But it's also a massive technical and a technological task, the putting together of the network. And everyone has to be compliant to be on the network. That, people are still wondering whether that's going to be ready at all. And are you expecting a period where people will not be ready? There will be traders who will not be ready. There will be people who will not have access to online systems.
There is absolutely no new requirement we have brought in this. Absolutely no new requirement. What we are saying is, today also, please understand, our requirement is that you have to register online. And today, all the things are online. If you have to register for an IIT exam, or if you have to register for a post of a teacher in a school, every state, every government of India vacancy requires you to file it online. So registration is online, which everybody can do. The second thing is, we are saying return filing is online. We are not saying, unfortunately, there is a lot of misimpression being created that there is a real-time invoice matching. There is no real-time invoice matching in which we are asking ki, the moment you create an invoice, you put it inside the computer, on the internet. Not at all. All we want is ki at the end of the month, they will file their return in computer. That's all. And today also, if you ask me, there are 4 crore people who file income tax online. The return is filed online by 99.9% people now in income tax. And all these traders, we have got only 60-70 lakh traders who are supposed to do it. And all of them would be filing their income tax return online. So there is nothing new for them. In many of the states, even the VAT returns are online. Excise returns and service tax returns are also online. So that return filing online is not a new experience for anybody. So there is nothing new about which they have to get prepared.
So I'm going to actually, over the next 10-15 minutes, just ask, everyone has these questions, what is in it for me, first of all? We know what there is for the country, and I'm going to ask you that. But traders want to know what's in it for us, consumers want to know what's going to happen to us, prices are going to go up, prices are going to go down, and so on and so forth. So let's just look at each of those step by step. And now that we've started to talk about the traders, you yourself are saying, and this is what many of the state governments have said, that they are not completely ready. They don't necessarily have the invoice tracking in their own level. Can they really track all the inputs that are coming in to get the input credits? How much of that work at the end of the day is still left? Because unlike the other things which are happening once a year, here many people are going to have to file those returns fairly frequently, once a month. It depends on their size, of course.
Well, frequency of return is always once in a month in VAT regime also. And it was online, even in many of the state governments like in Gujarat, Maharashtra, everywhere it was online filing only, return filing. All we are saying is, and even the invoice-wise detail filing is required in many states today. There are many states which had started invoice-wise return filing. But that also doesn't apply to everybody. Look, out of say 70-80 lakh dealers, taxpayers that we would be having, 80% of them would be B2C dealers. They are the small retailers, not small and big retailers. Even if you have got a departmental store and if you are only B2C dealer, you have to file only total details of your turnover. You are not supposed to file invoice-wise details. So there is no extra requirement that we have put in. Only if you are giving your goods to B2B, then because the other person needs to take input tax credit of goods which you have sold to him, that is why there is a requirement of invoice-wise filing, and that also once in a month. We are not saying that you have to do it immediately as soon as you create an invoice. It's only once in a month in your return you have to show invoice-wise detail.
So this, for example, is one of the areas, and perhaps I could get you to just explain this a little, because it's one of the areas that a lot of people are somewhat concerned about. The fact that at a certain size you're having to file 3 returns every month, plus some other forms there. So people are sitting and calculating that. That's 36 returns in a year that I'm going to have to file, plus other returns, and it's going to be a headache. Now, I know that a couple of them are computer generated, and they just have to check that out. But perhaps I could get you to just explain why was that really necessary, and maybe you could have found a slightly less scary way of putting it rather than GST return 1, return 2, return 3.
Actually, it's a problem of communication. I only wish now that rules have been made, we can't change it immediately. But I wish it should have been called GSTR 1 to 3. Instead of 1 to 3, we should have called it GSTR 1A, 1B, 1C. In which case, this complication would not have been felt by people.
That basically, 36, how many returns are there? 36 to 39
No,
in a year?
there is only one return per month, of which there are 3 parts. Okay. One part of sales detail, the dealer is supposed to make a data entry of. The second part and the third part are all generated by computer and shown to you only to ensure that there is no mistake. That is only a facility we are giving to the customer.
So you're filing
taxpayer.
One return.
One return per month.
One return. And the other 2 returns are computer generated. You're supposed to look at them and verify that it's correct.
I would say that the other 2 parts of the same return are generated by computer and shown to you. So it is one return for 1 month. I am filing, if I am a taxpayer, I am filing all my sales detail, and based on everybody filing their sales detail, I will automatically get details of purchases I have made in the computer, because the person from whom I have bought, he would have put his details. So based on his detail, I would get it in my purchase side. So the second part of the return is purchase detail, which is computer generated, and we call it GSTR 2. So there is nothing that I have to do except to check all my purchases are there. If there is a transaction missing, I can add. That facility is given to me, that I can just review it, and if there is one voucher also missing, I can add it, and then I can accept it. So you have to simply click and accept. There is no requirement on your part to file anything. And then the third return, based on your sales and the purchase, is exactly indicating your total tax liability, and that can be accepted by you. You have to simply accept it and pay it. That's it. Nothing more to be done.
So you're thinking of changing the name at some point?
It could have, it could have actually worked better if you had said it's a one return, 3 parts, 1 part you fill up, 2 parts computer will give you. I wish that would have been better to.
It may have made it slightly less daunting, because that's really the crux of the criticism. For all the benefits that people think GST is going to lead to, and they probably will, the crux of the criticism has been that has it ended up becoming too complicated a system in its implementation in India, and perhaps there were reasons for it, and the GST Council insisted on it, not just the many forms of the returns and all of that has come up, but also the multiplicity of rates, because now you're going to have to track 0% and 5% and 12% and 18% and 28%. So looking back again at it, wouldn't it have been better if you could have just got maybe 2 rates or 3 rates, a demerit rate and a merit rate, or combined 0 and 5% and combined 12 and 18%, something like that?
Well, if we do it, it would be highly regressive to the poor people. If we combine the 2 rates, what happens is that the rich people rate will come to the median level and the poor people will have to go up. So it will be more regressive in nature if we try to combine the two slabs into.
If you combine it all to one rate, then what you're saying is correct.
Yeah, even two rates. Even,
what if you had three rates? What if you had, for example, a 0%,
No,
0%, a medium rate, and then a demerit rate for sin goods or whatever they have?
Okay.
If you did
so
that,
suppose we have a median rate of say 8% instead of 5%. Then all the essential commodities which are now in 5%, there is a huge list of commodities which are in 5% at state level, and there is no excise duty on them. That would come to 8%. So, for example, edible oil. Edible oil is a consumption highly.
you could move it to 0%.
No, but that will be revenue. That will not be revenue neutral. How much of items can you put in 0%? Yeah. So the question is, we have to balance it against the interest of the poor people. We have to balance it in favor of the interest of the poor people. We have to also see the revenue neutral position, that our revenue should not suffer. So taking all that into account, to begin with, we have started with 4 slabs. But believe me, today there are so many rates of excise duty also. It's not 4 slabs in excise duty. There are so many rates of excise duty, and every state has got a different rate of tax on different items. So if somebody is operating all India, you can imagine a company like ITC or Hindustan Unilever, that every state they have a different rate to follow, and billing and transfer of goods to those states. For the same commodity, they have to have 31 different rates to be followed.